Hello and welcome to part 6 of the Media Suite video recording editing guide with Premiere Pro. Okay, in this part we'll be looking at adding pictures to your video. Here we'll be able to bring in image files that we may have converted from a PowerPoint slide to a JPEG, and actually bring them in to your video. Now, it's quite a simple process. I've already put a few into this video and we'll show you the simple process of adding some more and where to place them. Okay, so the first thing we know we need to do when we want to bring any element into Premiere Pro is we need to load it into our media window. So here's our sort of repository, our bin of all our files. As here we've got sort of image files and the video files we've used on the previous portions of this tutorial. So to bring a video file in, the one thing you're going to want to do is click on your timeline and you want to press the plus button because you're going to want to zoom in so you can actually see much closer in on your timeline. So we've clicked on the timeline here and we'll zoom in, which gives us a lot more control over where we put things into this timeline. Using the bottom bar we can then move along it quite easily. Okay, so the first thing, as we can see, we've got the video and the titles that we've already put in. We might decide we want a logo in there, or we have a PowerPoint file that's an image that's got some slides on, and we also want to put it in to the left of where we're talking, our talking head. Okay, so to place an image into Premiere Pro is a really simple process. We shall grab the image file on the left, so I'll just go to an image file. We'll drag it across to our video timeline and we can put it in anywhere we like. I'm going to drop it on video line 3 for now. You'll see it then places that file on the screen. We can then, the first thing we might want to do is look at the duration that this image file excuse me, the image file stays on screen. If we hover our mouse over the right hand end of the image files bar on the timeline, we'll see the arrow. We'll grab this and we can bring it in. So we're going to look at maybe having this on screen for about 4 seconds. So there we go, that's the timing set. The next thing we'll want to do is select the file itself. And we might want to think about the location on the screen, and here I've just clicked on the timeline to identify the video and then double clicked on the element that I want to select. So I'm going to, in this instance, I want to select do the select on that. This instance I want to select the video file, so let's go into here. Double select that image file that we've got, and we now means we can move this around anywhere on the screen that we'd like. It's a simple case of dragging it. So if it was a PowerPoint slide and we've got a talking head over here to the right hand side, we could bring this image file in and drop it over this side and we'll be to see the PowerPoint. And we're just going to use this as an example. We can then use the grab arrows in the corner as we would any file. If you hold shift, it will help it constrain the aspect ratio. So we'll use the grab arrows and we can make this file bigger. And again, we can still move it around the screen, get it to where we want it. And once we're happy, we press enter on the video file. So we now know that if we play through the video, we could go right back. So if we click on our timeline again and press minus to zoom out, make sure the playhead is right back at the beginning. If we click play now, we shall see this image file that we've dropped into the timeline stay on for about the 4 seconds that we've asked it to, and then disappear.
Again, all I'm doing is just playing around with.
We stop that, so there we go, we saw it. We'll just play it quickly again, so it's in, stays on the screen, and it disappears.
Again,
Now you can change the way that the image file disappears. If you don't want it to disappear quite suddenly, you can set as a fade or a transition on it, which we'll look at in the next video. I'm going to keep this one nice and short. Again, if you want to, what you can also do with these image files, on the selected file we've got, using the grab handles in the corner, we don't have to have it straight. So again, if it was a file that you wanted at a slight angle, we could actually change the angle of that file. And again, we'd repeat this process on any other image files we've got. So I'm going to kind of scroll along my presentation to an appropriate point. After we've put the text in for key points, I've got an image file that kind of pops in and swirls out. What we might decide here is if we want a PowerPoint slide that we've exported using the standard file save as in PowerPoint, we can export files to JPEG. So each slide in a PowerPoint presentation would be a JPEG. I've brought these in, so I've got a list of image files here that I've saved from a JPEG or from PowerPoint into a JPEG. Now I might decide now that I want one of these on my screen, so I shall have a look around and I'll choose the one that I actually want to use. So again, the same as we grab any file, by double clicking on that folder it's just popped me another window up. But same as any other file, we would literally click and drag and put it on our timeline where we want it. And again, we're going to decide here that we want it maybe as a cutaway at some point. I'm going to drop it on after the Photo Fest one, so that's going to pop up, that'll disappear, and then our other graphic will come in. Now again, we select the graphic itself, get the playhead into position, select the graphic itself. We can then double click on the image file itself, get it to an appropriate size and position on our screen. So again, if we've got a talking head on one side, we can make the PowerPoint slide an appropriate size. I have to think, if you've got writing on it, that you might want to think about the size this appears. We can use it as a traditional cutaway. So we could be talking about PowerPoint slides, and instead of actually seeing our presentation, our face, we could actually cut away straight to the slide. So I'm going to maybe bring this to a size that we're happy with, and we'll pop it as if we'll sit it here as if it's just sat on these railings. And now what we'll see, if we go back, we'll play the video again, and it will transition through the files that we've just brought in. And here appears our PowerPoint slide. The rest of our presentation carries on as we've set it up. There we go, so we move back in. Now what we can do is we can apply transitions, which we'll look at next, to actually define how these slides fade in and fade out. But the simple process of adding an image to your video presentation is as easy as dropping it in your image repository here on the left hand side, selecting the image file you want, choosing the position on your timeline. As I say, it's best to slide in. If we decided that we wanted this JPEG to stay on a little bit longer, we could do that. So again, we could put play and it'll stay on long enough for the students to read. That's important with the text file, obviously. And that is the simple process of adding an image file, whether it be a PowerPoint or a free image file that you've managed to get off Google, a diagram, and adding it to your video to illustrate a specific purpose. In the next video in the series, the penultimate one, we'll be looking at fades and transitions. And that is all for adding images. Thank you very much.